Welcome to our meeting. Now, if you turn to the handbook section, it talks about what the responsibilities of the consultants are. And it talks about the leadership, and it says consultants have the following responsibilities: help members experience the blessings of discovering their ancestors and performing temple ordinances on their behalf. These experiences are especially important for those learning the gospel, new and returning members, and those preparing to receive limited use temple recommend. Help members prepare to receive temple ordinances and make temple covenants. Participate in temple and family history coordination meetings. You notice it doesn't say anything on there about type in family search. It gives us the vision, help them prepare to go to the temple and take names for their ancestors and do the temple work in the temple. Help them prepare. It's broad, isn't it? And so our responsibility is very broad to get on our knees and follow the Spirit and ask the Lord, what can we do to help? What do we need to do to help? And sometimes it's simple things. It doesn't have to be anything grandiose. Brother Skinner, would you share with us what your thoughts are about that?
Well, I think pondering what the elders quorum could do. I think we need to start with some things that are small. Something that would be small enough that would be something we could succeed at. Too small to fail, if you will. And so, trying to come up with an idea that would be, useful for the elders quorum to, work together as a group and have a goal together, to something that we're trying to do as an elders quorum with indexing. Maybe it's just logging into Family Search this month. Trying to, inspire the brethren to just do something small.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Brooke, what are your thoughts as a teenager going through school and COVID and everything? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, so for the girls, we all get very connected to our phones. We get caught up in the moment with the internet, what's going on in the world. We don't take time to really reflect and think about what's personal to us or families. We don't take the time to invest ourselves in indexing, looking at family history. For me, when I actually became a young woman, I was so invested in indexing. I spent hours doing it, but then I kind of fell away over time because I got caught up with social media and the world and growing up. And I've started getting back into it actually, and I've been learning a lot more about people I'm connected to. My family filmed a video for the church last year, and we were doing it was for the Mesa Temple for the reopening, and we got to meet our family relatives from so many generations away. They're all over the valley. They all came to our house. We got to meet them, and we spent an hour watching the family history video about all the people we're connected to. Arthur Price, he designed the temple and everything. And so I think it's important that all the girls get to know their ancestors, because they don't realize how deep of a connection it is to others around you. You have so much in common with others that you don't even realize.
That's wonderful. That's such a great story. So are you back indexing now?
Every now and then. I get a little bit busy sometimes, but I try to find time to do indexing. Yeah.
Have you moved up from the beginner level to intermediate yet? Because I have not achieved that. Beginner is fine with me.
I stick with beginner, so it's not hard to decipher those texts.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. Sister Yoel, tell us about your indexing experience and what you do.
It only gives me three. When I go into index, it only gives me three options. Three different projects that I've been doing the same project all the time, which is land track registers, and they're really easy. Last ones I did this morning were from Phoenix, and so the names were familiar. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Now, before the meeting started, you were talking to Brooke about possibly a young women activity that would involve
Yeah, I think that's
indexing.
really fun.
They would love that. I think they would need it, definitely.
And what I need to find is a good video, like the one that opened up here, only on indexing, because I think that gives you a real spiritual idea of what it means to index.
There's some great videos online.
So I'll have to
go to the church website and go to videos, or media, and under indexing, there's a lot of material you can.
Yeah, I would definitely do that, and I'd probably ask for your help there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go into homes or when you visit as consultants in a ward, do you find that the youth are just as engaged as their parents? Or what's your experiences?
Well, we haven't actually been in their homes with the whole pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
We wrote all of our assigned families a letter, and then we delivered these, my family booklets
That's
to
good.
them. And so now we just need to get follow up and ask them how their experience is going and see what else we can do to help them, going forward.
So as we go to the homes, as we're permitted to go into the homes, which that day is coming, make sure you never touch their devices, not just because of COVID, but you want them to have their fingers on their own laptops, their own tablets, and do it themselves. You can stand by them and tell them what to do, but let them do it. And it's hard because you want to say, just give me the mouse, okay? Just give that to me. Let them do it themselves. Start out with the booklets, the My Family booklets, that's low tech. And as they fill that in, pretty soon they'll have a desire to log into Family Search and just see. Just ask and encourage them to log on to Family Search. The church makes it easy. It's the same login as LDS.org. Well, it's not LDS.org, but the church website. Just let them start exploring on Family Search. Tell them, recommend they click on memories and start seeing all the memories that are there and all the different photos that people have voted. And they start to feel it. The beautiful thing about Family History Work, we have TV commercials that advertise for Family History Work all the time. I know the missionary community, like, why can't we have missionary commercials on TV? Every time Ancestry.com commercial comes on, I think, well, if you go to Family Search, it's free. But anyway, what impressions have you felt as we've been talking today about things that you could do to serve the members of in our work through Temple Family History Work? Sister Gwen, have you felt anything?
Well, I did. In fact, I had downloaded something that's 100 Ways to Gather Israel. And you had mentioned that you had been having Sister Whitehead do a little message. And ours isn't quite up yet, but we're getting there. But that's one thing I want to make sure we do, is just something as simple as, logging to Family Search and see what the account is. But then a little blurb of how can you do this? Well, you can talk to the Chugs or, the Chapmans or give them some ways to do this as well. But I want to just put one little thing every month, do a recipe book. Gather all the recipes for your family and put it in a book, or just little things to help them realize that, Family Search, like you said, is not just sitting on the computer and doing this. It's literally finding out about your family in all different ways. It doesn't matter how, but in all different ways, and how can you do that? So
One of the best things you can do is tell your kids a story about your grandmother.
right,
Because they never met her on this earth most of the time.
right.
Just tell a story about your grandmother or your grandfather to your children and just open their eyes to who you are because of your grandparents. It's a wonderful thing to do. Now, this morning I emailed the revised list of the ward assignments. So you have additional, pretty much the same, but a few more extras of families to visit. The goal is twice, 2 different families a month. Hopefully vaccines will come, we can start actually going back in home soon, but at least make contact with 2 families a month. The painters have an assignment, Sean has an assignment as well. To make sure that the ward knows that we're church supported and we've been called to action. So we're not just waiting for somebody to say, hey, by the way, come help me. We're approaching everybody to make sure they know we're ready to go. Yes?
It occurred to me as I was sitting here, even in the ministering interviews that we're doing, like in Relief Society and Elders Quorum, it's really a great opportunity for us to actually ask them how they're doing. How's Temple and Family History going in your home? And what are the goals that Elders Quorum and Relief Society set, and how are those going? What have you learned from it? And just another touch point, to check in with the families and see how they're doing in the gathering of Israel.
That's wonderful.
And even at that meeting, if they say, well, we're not really first, then jot their names down, give it to us, and we can make contact, more of a.
You can say, well, would you like some help?
Yeah.
And then make those connections. And so I really think the interviews are really more than just, how's your family?
Mm-hmm.
It really needs to be, how are you able to help them with their temple and family history? How are they doing? How are you doing? you know, and be able to just kind of have those touch points where, you know, just as a ministering brother or sister, to be able to help facilitate the Temple Family History efforts in the home as well.
Thank you. Well, does anybody have anything, any thoughts, or any feelings, inspiration that they want to share before we close this meeting? I just had a final thought. But does anybody-
Well, I love that video. I mean, how easy it would be to just embed it, you know, into and send it to our families or
Mhm.
send it to the ward or, you know, something.
And you can get it anywhere. You can get it on YouTube. And you can just send a link to your families, however you want to do it. It really is a touching.
I think it's a great enough video. I think for the Elders Quorum, it would be good for us to just send that out to all the brethren. Yeah, just let them watch that.
My mom passed away on July 2nd of this year.
Of last year.
2020. She was 86 years old. Sweet, hard-nosed, wonderful lady. But after she passed, there was times of tears. And the Spirit said, go to Family Search. And so I realized, well, now that she's passed, there's things I should start plugging in now. And so I started plugging in her date of death, location of death, all the details that comes with when someone passes. I went to the memories and said, I can start plugging photos in, and her life story I'd already done right before she passed. So I started putting stuff into the memories. And it comforted me. And then I found out my older sister was doing it at the same time I was doing it, because we both were drawn to the Spirit of Elijah that now this will help you, this will heal you, the loss that you're feeling, which is what the video of the spiritual thought we have today. It really does heal us, and so that's my testimony to you, that sometimes people don't know they need healing, they won't tell you, but family history will soothe their hearts and heal them for what they're feeling and what they're suffering. Just like when we go to the temple, you never come out of the temple feeling worse than when you went in. You usually come out feeling much better. You love your family more than when you first went in. So let the temple of family history heal the people that we teach and that we're reaching out to, and let the Spirit guide you in everything you do. I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.